welcome to my channel, and today I'm going to be doing my top 10 least popular books on my TBR. As you know, a few weeks ago I did my top 10 most popular books on my TBR and I found it really interesting. So now I've decided to go and do the least popular books. And all these are rated by Goodreads, so it's basically how many ratings each book has. And to be honest, I'm quite shocked at some of the books that are on this list, to be honest. Majority of them are ones that have just been released. I am not including any pre-orders, so we might as well get straight on into it. So I'm going to go from 10 down to 1 being the least popular book on my TBR. This is going to be very interesting. Let me just get my phone, because as you know, iMovies doesn't let you put a picture in the corner, so I'm having to use my phone. So the first book is City of Ghosts by Victoria Schwab. Now this is one of the books that really shocked me. Even though I know this has only recently come out, I thought lots of people may have already rated this book because Victoria Schwab or V.E. Schwab is very popular. I'm quite surprised. It might be because this is a middle grade book, so maybe not as many people buying and reading this book. I personally can't wait to read it. It's set in Scotland, which I don't read enough books set in Scotland. It's such a pretty place and I think this will be an awesome Halloween read. It follows a young girl whose parents are kind of like ghost hunters, but this girl can actually see ghosts, and I believe from there there's lots of adventure, and I believe there might have some typical V. Schwab in there as well. So I can't wait to read this, and I think it will quickly shoot up out of the top 10 least popular books once more people have read it. Number 9 is Caught in Time by Julian McLuhan, and this is actually a book that I am currently reading, and this is part of the Murder in Time series, which, as you probably know, I love. It follows Kendall Blake, who is an FBI agent, and when she's trying to find someone, she gets sent back in time to England in, I think it's the 1800s. So yeah, it's very interesting. I just love it. This one is the third book in the series, and this follows a murder. A mill owner has been murdered. People believe it's the Luddites who've done it. These are people who are against new technology. But Kenda is like, no, it wasn't him. I am about halfway through. Well, I'm over halfway through. There you go. I'm hoping to maybe finish it tonight. But yeah, again, I know this isn't a very popular series and I don't know why, but I might do a review of literally all these books on this list just so they can get some more notice and more people can read and review them. The 8th book on this list is The Soldier by Neil Asher. Again, I am quite shocked. I haven't read any Neil Asher, but apparently he's very big in the sci-fi and fantasy world. Again, this is a new release. I got this book in the My Chronicle book box for last month. But yeah, again, I'm quite shocked. Maybe people are just taking their time to read it. I'm not too sure what it's about, but I know it's set in this world that is very famous for writing, hence why I'm a bit worried about picking it up, because I've never read this book, so I'm like, will I understand what's going on? Number 7 is Darkhaven by A.F.E. Smith. So this is, I believe, a YA series that I've still got on my TBR, even though I took loads off because I found it really interesting. It follows a girl who is forced to rule Darkhaven because her brother has not inherited the family trait of being able to shapeshift, but when her father is murdered, she kind of becomes exiled and her brother has to take over, and it's all about her trying to find out what happened to her father. Even though it follows the general route of YA, I still found it really interesting because, you know, shapeshifting and all that. So I can't wait to give this a read. It's not a new release, so it makes me wonder why it's so low on Goodreads. I mean, I think it's got good ratings. I think it's just that maybe many people haven't read it. So when I do get this book, it will definitely be a reviewed one, just so that people can see what it's like. Then we've got Containment by Hank Parker. Now this is a biological thriller, and I do love my thrillers, but I've never read any biological ones. So there's some sort of tick-borne virus that takes over a state in America, and it follows these biological scientists who have to go and find out where this virus came from and try and get a cure. And I think it'll be really interesting. Like I said, I've never read a biological thriller. Again, I don't think this is a recent release. I think it came out last year, but still it is quite low. It's 6 on my list, so it makes you wonder why, but I can't wait to give this one a go. Then we've got Witch Sign by Den Patrick. I've got an arc that again came with my Chronicle book box. It came out in May, so again I'm wondering why it's so low on the list. But this follows a world where people are born with the witch sign, which I think is just literally another word for magic, and there's this kingdom that doesn't like magic, and every year there's kind of like a culling of people who are born with this sign. But then it turns out it's not really a culling, these children are sent away to a school where they learn how to use their magic. So it seems maybe a bit like Harry Potter. So knowing that, I am a bit more excited to go into it, but it's a bit... I'm not sure whether this is YA or not because it came with my Chronicle book box and that's an adult subscription box, so I'm not 100% sure. But this is definitely one that I will review for you guys. Number 4 on the list is The Parentations by Kate Mayfield. Again, this came with my Chronicle book box, so there seems to be a running theme here. I've had this for a good 3 months and I haven't read it because I'm not fully sure what it is about. But looking more at the blurb, it's set in 18th century London, and I think a woman is trying to get away with a baby. She's trying to escape, and then somehow it's set 100 years later and these people are still waiting for this baby. It just seems very confusing. I think it's one that must be read, and I will definitely review it for you again. This seems like a running theme as well, but it's got almost 5 stars on Goodreads. The people who have read it obviously liked it. It's just not getting people reading it and reviewing it. So I will definitely give this a go and give it a review for you. Now we're in the top 3 least popular books on my TBR. The third one being The War in the Dark by Nick Stetchfield. So again, this is a book from my Chronicle book box. Yeah, there's definitely a theme here, probably because all of the ones from the book box are recent releases, so they probably just haven't had enough time for people to get them reviewed. So this is set in Europe 1963, and there's kind of like a civil war on the border of 2 worlds, of the magic and real world. Kind of like how reality meets magic. It seems definitely like my kind of thing. Historic fiction, fantasy, magic. I need to get this read and get the word out there because I've been looking forward to this book for a while. As soon as I heard about it, I thought I need it, and then it popped up in my Chronicle book box. That was amazing. Number 2 is A Vote for Murder by Jacqueline Beard. So this is a book that's been on my TBR for years, but no one's ever got me it, and I've never seen it, and I don't want to order it from Book Depository. But this is basically a suffragette book. This suffragette finds a long lost diary from Mary Emily Cage, who was executed for the murder of her husband. But then when this lady's next door neighbour is brutally murdered, she can't help but notice some links between the 2 murders. So I'm so excited for this book because it's suffragettes and it's murder, so it seems like my kind of thing. Again, I'm not sure why it's got so little reviews. I think it would be best for me to read it and just review it and try and get the reviews up. And the least popular book on my TBR, according to Goodreads, is Ole, the Devil is Here, and that's by Stephen Mitchell. I'm not so sure why this has so little reviews, especially because I'm pretty sure I saw this book on the Goodreads Awards. Am I just going a bit mental? I mean, I added this because it's under the genre of horror, and I do want to kind of branch out a bit and read some more horror. I am planning on reading it in October, which I am a bit scared about, but this basically follows a young boy who is kidnapped, and I think his kidnapper has some sort of magic and he starts training this young boy in his magic. So that seems like it's going to be very, very interesting, the fact that this guy's got magic, and I think the young boy is trying to escape from him. But yeah, that seems very interesting, so I can't wait to give that a go. So those are the top 10 least popular books on my TBR according to Goodreads. Like I was saying, for all of them, the books that I literally have a physical copy of, I will try and read before Christmas and review them, just in the hope that it might help get the reviews up on Goodreads, because that's doing a good deed, isn't it? Just so you know, on Friday and Monday, there won't be any videos from me. I'm going to be down in London at the RTX convention, so there won't be any videos there. And then when I come back, my video the Friday afterwards may look a bit different because we are currently moving out of the flat. 1st of October, hopefully before then we're going to be moving, because 1st of October I start my job because I handed in my notice at Specsavers, which I'm totally happy about. But yeah, I think the books will be the first things to be packed as I've got loads of them. So I might do another video and nothing will be here. But yeah, it's going to be a big few months. I'm going to try and keep on top of my reading. I don't want to get behind. But yeah, it might be that my wrap up may not be as big as I want it to be, just because I've had loads of stress with trying to sort out tickets for RTX, for trying to sort out my new job, and then for trying to sort out moving into this house. But yeah, I'll stop now because this video is looking quite long. If you want to keep up to date with me, especially at RTX, my Twitter's down below, so I'll be doing quite a bit on there. And I will see you later with a new video next Friday. Bye!